So it's been a while, but today I wanted to talk about a serious topic that's about a company also known as Activision, the people who make the Call of Duty series, a lot of old games from like the 1990s. But I wanted to talk about how they fell off when they fell off to becoming a cash grab company that only cares about money. I mean, nowadays they just make reskins of games and shitty versions of them and bad game modes. You could just see the motivation and what the sight they had for the future of the game just isn't there anymore. It's clear that they're like Mr. Krabs, just dollar signs over the eyes. So I wanted to talk about when they fell off. The last game I think that they put effort into and actually were a company with motivation and why they fell off. So the game I'm currently playing, which is Call of Duty Black Ops 3, is truly the game I think the final game they had the most motivation in before they truly just wanted money. I mean, you can look at it. The graphics were good for the time, and for the next few games they had until I'd say Modern Warfare 2019 had worse graphics than this game, arguably. You could see the zombies had. You had Zombie Chronicles, the 4 map packs with very awesome maps, I must say. Even the shitty ones like Zetsubo and Oshima were fun. And Shadows of Evil, amazing, beautiful map of downtown. The multiplayer, despite the really shitty supply crates that they were still doing at the time with the overpowered weapons you could get, that's the only issue I truly find with this game, besides the really bad campaign. But you could see that the multiplayer had some time put into it. It was definitely their best multiplayer for advanced movement at the time. I mean, Infinite Warfare and Advanced Warfare couldn't compare to the smoothness you would feel. Again, the graphics were really good, especially at the time this game came out. They were still good. I'm pretty sure this game was on the PS3, very late PS3 though. But I remember playing this game for the first time. This was truly the first Call of Duty I sunk my teeth into, and that's what got me into the Call of Duty series so much was this game. And everything besides the really bad campaign. Even the campaign had some motivation put into it, at least. Sure, it was a mindfuck and had no plot going anywhere, but I still thoroughly enjoyed it, especially playing co-op with a friend and messing around. But then after this game came out and I was super hyped for the next Call of Duty, which I think was Call of Duty World War II, you could clearly see just the change in direction. It went from, despite the supply boxes in this game being awful and horrible, I thank God that they removed them. At least they had, some cool stuff you could get in them. When you go into World War II, if that's the next COD game, it also could be Infinite Warfare. I'll talk about them both though. You could just see that all motivation was gone. For Infinite Warfare, it became even more pay-to-win guns, worse than this game by a landslide. And for World War II, it became guns that, sure, they had really no meaning on the game and no impact, but it became worse when you got something bad, such as like a grip skin, which is complete bullshit. The fact that you would have to get that supply grade, which is a decent amount of grinding, I must say. And then you get a grip skin, a very bad looking gun skin. Even the good gun skins that were like platinum tier, you would need, it would be all dirtied up, which I guess adds to the realism of World War II, but it doesn't work. And after I played those two games, I went back to BO3 and enjoyed myself more than ever. I finally went back to BO3 after about 2 years of not playing the game, and I can say that I do not regret it. This game has been more fun than ever. Even with the hackers invading the game, I've gotten a lot of hacked games. Not as much as Black Ops 2 or older titles, but I still gotten a lot of hacked games with Invisible God mode. But besides that, this game has been a hell of a lot of fun to level up the guns. Each gun, I could feel the weight of the gun and the power of it. I can't say that about COD games now today. The only thing I can feel is how fast they shoot and how high they go when I shoot. Everything else feels like I'm holding a plastic gun. I feel nothing. And the specialists in this game were all unique and cool, unlike Black Ops 4, which were complete reskins that looked even worse because Black Ops 4 graphics were awful. Even though I like most COD games, I mean, except for Modern Warfare 2019, I like most COD games, but this game I enjoyed a lot more than the ones we have today, especially things like Modern Warfare 2019, Vanguard, Cold War, titles like that. Even though I like World War II's multiplayer and I like Black Ops 4's multiplayer, I can't say that about the everything else. It doesn't work. And just this game, it's polished. It's really polished. And there were contracts that you could do to get those DLC weapons. So if you were tired of getting memed on, you could actually grind the game and meme on other people. Finally feel victorious. And the hit marker sounds, the soundtrack for this game was amazing. Everything about it was amazing. And the weapon variety from burst rifles to what you just saw, fucking boxing gloves, katanas, a hand. It was just a hell of a time. And that leads me to my point of why Activision fell off. Now, there's a multitude of reasons for why they did and how they did and when it was going to happen eventually. And the unfortunate news, they're going to keep falling off, especially after they just bought Blizzard. It's going to get worse and worse because now that they're just a cash grab company, the motivation will never be there. And even though people are still hyped for Modern Warfare 2, remake or whatever you want to call it, I have my hopes very, very low. My expectations are to the floor, to the ocean bed, you might say. Because there's some way they're gonna fuck it up. They always do. Modern Warfare 2019, I love the old Modern Warfare, but if they enhance camping like they did in 2019, it's gonna be, nobody's gonna like the game. And they don't, from what we've learned over the years, they don't learn from their mistakes. They're obviously just gonna add things for more annoying players and rich people to buy, and ruin the player experience for other people. Now, obviously, even if the community brings this to light, which they won't, especially with the channel small as mine, and I know a lot of people with the huge subscriber counts talk about this, Activision will not listen because they're still raking in a multitude of more money than what they're originally pulling for the game. Say it takes, I don't know. This is just a wild guess, it doesn't mean anything. Say it takes $100,000 to make a okay Call of Duty. They're still gonna make millions of dollars off of that Call of Duty because of people using their microtransactions for an advantage or because they think it's cool. And that's the problem, is that if this keeps working, they're eventually, well, most likely, going to go back to the supply drop method with the bad guns. If the player experience goes lower. So if people stop like buying into their games and their microtransactions, people stop playing their games less and less until they make a better game, it's not going to increase their motivation to make a better game because they'll just go back to the shitty microtransactions with god tier guns compared to the regular guns you get for free. And people will do that who are scummy because a lot of people in this game are scummy. We've all heard the game chat audio before. And just about this, about Black Ops 3, if you play it for yourself, like, you should go play Black Ops 3 and then play a game like, I don't know, Cold War, for example. You could just see some change. It's like the stock market. It goes up and then pivots down. Everything in, like, Cold War to Black Ops 3 is different. And I'm not talking in mechanics or advanced movement. I'm talking in graphical changes and player-based structure and strategic movements. Black Ops 3, because it does revolve around an advanced movement, even if it didn't have that, people would still be running around the map because the maps in this game are meant to push you out. Even though they're 3-lane maps, you push out because unlike other CODs, if you camp, you will die because of the guns in this game. Like the disc gun, the noob tube, the just really any gun you could put your mind to in this game changes what the strategies people use. In Cold War, it's basic guns. You get like a grenade launcher, I'm pretty sure. You get a few launchers, and then it's just basic class stuff. And the melees aren't unique at all. So strategies are obviously just going to be to camp. And that's why I'm worried for Call of Duty in the future. And for Modern Warfare 2, again, my expectations are low, because if that happens, and they repeat Modern Warfare 2019, because that game made a lot of money, and I mean a lot of money, especially with Warzone going into their profit, it just completely diverts the game from their original status for Activision to actually make a good game. And they will not change that until their company truly has motivation again, which will probably never happen again, especially if they're raking in this money. And again, like I said, it's very likely that even if they don't rake in enough money, they're not going to change, because they could just go back to their old scummy methods, which work. Sadly, they do work. Infinite Warfare, Black Ops 3 even, have scummy weapons that you can get by buying a lot of supply packages. It's like gambling, practically. It's teaching people how to do slots, especially underage people, such as myself. And it's a huge problem, especially for the gaming community, because I recently, from this footage here, I tried to play this game years later on a brand new account with nothing. I just finished the KN. I'm now working on the XR2, getting it max level. And I just running into hackers and running into overpowered guns like the RPK or the XMC, the PPSH even, is just not fun. It's impossible. And of course there's always going to be people who still play the same game and are going to be really good at it. But when they enhance themselves with those guns that were clearly bought just out of pure luck, or they use an unlock all tool mod, it completely, it just ruins the game for other players, and it's awful. Now, what will Activision do in the future? They'll keep doing the same things. There's no stop to them. I don't know what to say about that. There's no stop. They're still raking in a lot more money than they need, and they're making worse quality games every year, unless it's like by Sledgehammer, which I hate to say, because Modern Warfare 2019, yeah, the graphics are great, but you have to free up 200 gigabytes, which isn't a problem for PC. But people who play console are crying themselves to sleep, because you can only have 3 games, and it really sucks. And Warzone isn't doing any better either. It's kind of doing awful, actually. You have to use it's been a trend in Warzone every year. You have to use the new game's guns. I mean, when Warzone started with Modern Warfare guns, they were viable. Cold War came out, the AK was meta, the AUG was meta, and the FFAR was meta, and same for Vanguard guns now, but the issue with Vanguard guns is every gun is meta compared to any old game guns, besides maybe like Cold War's AK, but that's it. And, I mean, that's a lot of what I wanted to talk about. I know this isn't really Activision based, it's kind of just a rant. And obviously, that's what it's always going to go into. And I could talk about this for hours and hours. I still got 6 minutes to free up. So, I guess talk about the final thing is where I have been. Well, I don't want to talk about something that's really annoying and it's why I'm on a new account, but you could probably assume what happened. And the other thing is, I don't know, I just kind of focused on school for a while, and now that it's summer break, I'm actually going to start uploading. I don't know what I'm going to upload, or when I'm going to upload, or why I'm going to upload. I'm probably not going to do it for a long time until I truly get motivation to do something again, because there's really no game I'm passionate about right now. And I'm using the fucking PlayStation Share Factory editing, which is not easy to use. And I suck at all content creating. My mic kind of sounds like I'm using the GTA 5 mic quality in game chat. I sound like I'm lagging out of the universe and I'm a robot. Everything's stuffy, but yeah, I don't know. I just been playing games, grinding on my new account, chilling. Yeah, I don't fucking know. Peace. Oh yeah. You're still here. Can you just give people my YouTube name, please? That's kind of all I want. Thanks. Alright. Bad mic quality guys out.